My name is Edwin Okechotieno, or people like calling me Edu. That's what I'm well known of around Kibera. So this is where I was born. That was about over 30 years ago. So I was born, raised, and kind of did everything in Kibera. We are a family of 6, 3 brothers and 3 sisters. We used to live with our parents, but then as family, you never know what will happen. My father and my mom separated, and that meant my mother had to move to live in a different town in Mombasa, and we were left to stay with our dad in Kibera. We stayed with our dad for a good, I would say about 8-9 years, and in the process we were never in touch with mom, because those are the days when communication was not as easy as it is right now. So I went to a primary school. It was an informal primary school, a missionary sponsored, so which means we never were expected to pay sort of school fees, but just to avail yourself. And one of the things that meant for us to go to school back then is because there was free food, free food, and you could go with any cloth that you might get, be it like short pants, long pants, as long as you avail yourself in school. And we used to love school, So as years went by, I also lost my dad later on in the year I think in the year 1999, January, I lost my dad through a tragic road accident. So having no one to stay with, we had to move up countryside in Nyanza. And then I talked to one of my uncles and I told him, you know what, I have to go back to Nairobi because I go to school where we don't actually pay school fees. So they allowed me to come back, and that's how I started living with friends and other relatives. Again, that didn't last long. In the process of that, I joined St. Charles Lwanga Primary School. This is a missionary school where we were not expected to pay any fees. And one of the social workers at the school where I used to go to referred me to a street children's home. And this is after even finding food to eat was really a big problem. I would scavenge for food. I would go into people's houses just pretending that I've come to visit them, but in real sense, I needed food to eat. So that went for quite some time, about a couple of years. Then this social worker saw my struggles, and then he said, Edwin, you know what, you're really struggling and you're a good student. Why don't you go to a children's home where you can get food, love, and just accommodation, a place where you can lay your head. So I agreed because I didn't have any option then. So I ended up joining Ukweli Home of Hope, children's home. So I met my sponsors who used to come as missionaries to teach in that school. And out of the good behavior that I used to show around the school, they started supporting me with my high school education, and that paying for my fees and all that. That didn't last long after dad died. So mom came back later on around 2006. But then when she came back, she was really sick. She later passed on in 2006, and it was a really sad moment to lose a parent, as any child would face that challenge.